But when we showed you a couple of months ago about the arson fires that just miraculously started in places just outside of Buenos Aires, is it any surprise? Is it any surprise? I don't think so. So here's the latest about what's going on in Israel South. We'll call it Israel South. We'll call it whatever you want. But the irony of the tie-ins with the Nazis is unbelievable. This is what's going on right now in Argentina.
Filtrado a la prensa el informe confidencial catalogado bajo el expediente número MS-26. El documento coordina la preparación de un plan preventivo para acoger hasta 300.000 refugiados israelíes.
So obviously I can't read Portuguese, or Spanish, excuse me. I don't know why I thought I was reading Portuguese, but no, it's Spanish in Brazil. It's Spanish in Argentina, Portuguese in Brazil. And so 300,000 refugees, 300,000 is how many Argentina is now taking in. If things are going so well in Israel, if things are going so well against Iran, why would this many people be fleeing? This is almost 5% of Israel's population, and this is just the beginning. Who's to say that there isn't going to be a ground invasion in Israel? Hey, I'm here. It could be really, really bad. The question is, why is Argentina taking them in? Argentina, unfortunately, has a history of just having a completely corrupt government, always siding with fascism. But little do people know just how much Javier Milei Akowski is destroying Argentina. They got their puppet, and their puppet is doing their bidding. And so here we are, watching this horrific situation unfold, because now they have their escape plan. I don't want them to get away with this. I don't want the Eichmann Mengele escape plans to be fulfilled by these bastards. At least now you know where they're going.
En Argentina. Este llamado plan preventivo nace como respuesta directa a la guerra impulsada por Estados Unidos e Israel contra la República Islámica de Irán. Y el documento arroja un sesgo alarmante. El operativo humanitario y la logística estatal están diseñados única y exclusivamente para acoger hasta 300.000 ciudadanos del Estado de Israel.
Now think about this, as he mentions the reason why Hitler escaped in Argentina. Well, I know some people believe that. I can't say for sure if that's true or not. Again, I have accepted the fact that history has shown that you can pretty much write it however which way you want to write it. So you can just make up whatever you want. If that's what you choose to do, then that's fine. But I want to say this. If you don't make it a point to deal with them sooner rather than later, they're going to take over your country. 300,000, and considering most of them are going to have the financial backing of the powers that be, they're going to come in and they're going to run roughshod over your whole fucking country. No es bueno. Don't let them in. And if you do let them in, deal with them. We already see how Mexico's dealing with them. Argentina and its people need to rise up against their tyrannical government, which is basically owned by us in Israel. That's what's happening. Argentina is going to completely collapse under its own weight when all of the Zios find their way there. Hopefully the Aussies are smart enough to know that it's time to start pushing them out. But yes, this is where we are, and I'll show you why in a minute. There you go. It's bribery gone run amok.
A pesar de que la guerra afecta a toda la región, el plan del gobierno omite por completo ofrecer refugio a poblaciones iraníes u otras víctimas civiles del conflicto, enfocando todos los recursos del Estado argentino en una sola nacionalidad, Israel. Conocidos los detalles del informe, vemos que no se trata, por tanto, de un plan humanitario, sino de subordinarse a las necesidades del Estado de Israel. Lamentablemente, hay más factores preocupantes para añadir a la situación. Se ha filtrado a los medios documentación que revela la existencia de un proyecto urbanístico aprobado por el Ministerio de Obras Públicas argentino para crear lo que los argentinos llaman un country, una urbanización privada en la Patagonia.
So again, I don't know if anybody is just listening or is actually watching the Spanish to English, the English to, I don't know, the Spanish to English translation. So effectively, what's happening here is two things. Argentina was attempting to take in refugees from a few different countries around the world, and Syria in particular. And they have provided no resources for them. All the resources are going to the Israelis. And it looks like Patagonia is a place that is being completely privately developed for the Zios. So that appears to be the city that they're going to take over. This is just the beginning. When it becomes, Israel South, if you will, think about how many more are going to find their way there. It's like colonizing Mars, only now they're colonizing Argentina. Argentina's been colonized quite a few times. So this is not a surprise. I truly feel bad for the people of Argentina. I do. They didn't ask for this.
Tierras quemadas por el fuego, llamado Barrio Privado Josué, profeta de Israel. Este barrio privado va a tener nada menos que 100.000 hectáreas. 100.000 hectáreas. Esto es 4 veces la superficie de Gaza.
Acceder a video.
That's a big problem. And we know it's a big problem. And this is why I point this out to the Argentinians that are living there that think, well, they're just going to go to Patagonia and they're going to take that over. No, that is not what's going to happen. This is going to get so much worse so quickly, you can't even see it coming. However, we have a good frame of reference here, and I'll show you why. Now, this has been making the rounds on social media because this is something, it's harsh. Argentina has been trying to colonize it for over a century. Hey, listen, you know what? That's probably why they may do that now. And again, Zizou, I understand that anywhere but Palestine, Peter. Do you really think that they will not come in with the guns a-blazing if they have to? Of course they will. This is why they're a blight on humanity. It isn't just Palestine. We are all Palestine, and they'll bring it wherever they go. That's the problem. Put them all on a desert island and let them figure out how to live off the land if they can. And if they can't, tough shit. Their whole ideology is a death cult. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. But we are giving our money to Argentina to facilitate this. So as I said, if you think that this is not something that can come close to home, trust me when I tell you, this was filmed, I believe, in the Bronx earlier this week.
Trying to scam my boy out his property. Look, it's the second time he came around talking about he trying to get him.
Hey, Daniel,
Trying to scam.
I came to do inspection of the house.
Ain't no inspection. You don't own the house. Get out of here.
Daniel,
you don't own
Daniel,
nothing.
You know this is a court order.
Like a
saying
court order.
That must vacate.
No, get out of here. Fake ass court order. Look at this nigga trying to scam.
You know, for as long as anybody has come up with a Jewish stereotype, the whole idea of, well, he came with the legal documents, so that must mean it's official. If you look closely as to this particular area, it's pretty obvious what they're doing here. I'll blow it up again. If you look in the back, you can see that this is not exactly a wealthy area. This is a working class area. So naturally, they want to go in and try to take advantage of the weak and the people who do not have the financial means to put or to deal with this. That's a problem. It's not like this guy is rolling into a neighborhood in the Upper East Side, although that's where a lot of his people live. No, this becomes a much bigger problem because the vulnerable live in an area But New York's real estate is still considered highly valuable. So perhaps they can kick him out. If this guy, stereotypically, as I would assume, perhaps lives in Riverdale, but has decided to find his way into the South Bronx because maybe there's a development opportunity that they see that's coming that they think will be valuable if they were to just push some people out of their homes that are not worth much now, but they will be in the future. And this is what they do. And when you have the courts behind you, what do you expect? So the same problem is going to happen in a place like Patagonia. All of these places are subject to the same problem. Like I said, let them go to an island, let them live off the island, and see if they can hack it. That's their responsibility. But this is what is on the regular. This is what they do. It just so happens that somebody decided to start filming it, and now you know that it's real.
I've been here for years. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. He's born here. Get out of here. When they called the cops, you came, the cops came, they did nothing. Get out of here. Yo, oh yeah. I don't know if you know this guy's trying to scam. We're not playing over here. We're not playing. We don't give a fuck about that little fake ass hat. We knock his fucking hat off. We not.
You see, he's not expecting anything to happen. He thinks he's a protected class. But this guy who sounds like he is, Puerto Rican, Dominican, he's basically telling him, get the fuck out of here because we're gonna kill you. You're not coming here. You're not taking over our neighborhood. That's what they have a hard time understanding, is that not too long ago, even 2.5 years ago, they would have probably had a lot more weight to throw around in getting this done. Now that the word's out, they're not going to be able to do this anymore. And when people try to throw legal eagles, which is again it's a Jewish stereotype, it's a total trope, yes, but it's only a trope because it's true. This guy doesn't have the physical capability of fighting anybody. He has a vagina between his legs. But he has the legal system for now. And so that's what they're banking on. They're banking on the legal system to continue to protect them and destroy people's lives so they can make a few more bucks. Like I said, if Argentina allows the takeover of their country, now that Israel is taking it on the chin, this is the type of shit that they're going to find happening in their neighborhoods. Now, of course, like I said, in New York City, especially in the Bronx, this type of shit doesn't fly at all. Not this one's.
Not playing, you heard me? We not playing. I'm trying to play. I'm trying to get him the fuck out of here before he gets himself hurt out here, you heard? We don't give a fuck about that hat, you heard? We don't give a fuck about that hat. We'll knock his fucking head off.
The great noticing continues because now the person is basically telling him, we're on to you, and he's referring to the hat, the little hat. That's the way that this is playing out. The little hat is a problem, and that's what the people are now picking up on. And that's the word that's going around. Yeah, we're family here in this chat. We keep it square, but we keep it honest every time. This is one of the biggest reasons why people don't say anything, because they might lose their job, their livelihood. I've been there. But you have to be able to live with yourself. And this phenomenal community is helping our channel grow so that maybe, just maybe, I might be able to make enough where I can get another job, but not have to rely on it in the immediacy because I have you guys that are here backing us up. That's wonderful. We're not there yet, but doesn't mean we can't get there. But not everybody has that ability. Not everybody has that luxury. This is a very serious, volatile situation. This person, this guy is rolling up into a neighborhood of which he's doing it in broad daylight. He's doing it with security. But the guy who's living there is basically telling him, yo, you're not getting out of here alive if you think you're going to kick this person out of their house and take their shit. You're not doing it. And let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, as somebody who does commercial real estate, I can assure you that this guy, he's not trying to get that apartment or that townhouse because he's planning to live there. No, he's planning to take it over and rent it out and make the money off of the ownership to the person who now will dwell. The person who's there currently apparently doesn't have it. So they want him out. But the community, to their credit, is coming together and saying, you're not going to do this. You will not do this here. And if you want to see what a war in the streets looks like, try doing this in the Bronx. As somebody who was born in New York, raised in Jersey, and spent a lot of time in the Bronx, you don't fuck around with people there. I lived in the Bronx for 2 years, okay? I lived in a very rough neighborhood. I heard gunshots. I had my car broken into multiple times. People stole shit out of my car. I was very lucky because my neighbor happened to be an ex-cop who kept a shotgun 12 gauge by his door. Basically told everybody in the neighborhood, this white guy's cool. Let him be. I would do anything for that guy. If somebody rolled up on him and said, hey, we're taking your house, you're not going to do anything about it. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, you bet your ass we will. Especially with people like this. This guy doesn't know the meaning of the word hard living if it smacked him upside his dumbass head and knocked off his stupid hat. But that's what they do. This is who these people are. And normally, I wouldn't care. I don't have anything to do with them. I would imagine most people don't. But now it's being shown time and again that they are in the middle of our daily lives. We don't want them there. You want to go and pray hours and hours on end per day? That's fine. Do whatever you want. So long as you're not in my way, again, very libertarian living as far as I'm concerned. But if you think you're going to get in my way of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or anybody else's for that matter, who are barely scraping enough to get by, oh, dude, they are just asking for it.